Hello, everybody. Come on in, say hello. That's right. It should say Pat Misadventures Lounge Lizard at Large. That's right. That's who I am. But that's a lot to type. What's going on, everybody? Get some people in here. Say hello. Come on live. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. Because, yes, I love to talk. I am very good. And we can discuss anything. I'm good with discussing anything, from politics to religion to of course, they're usually the off limits topics to discussing whatever. You know, we don't care. To how I'm trying to behave myself in California, but of course, I'm only driving 55. Here you are. Well, come on. Well, come on. Come on. Anybody there? No? Well, you froze. Oh, I'm frozen? Hey. There's
How
Arnie.
you doing, Arnie? Bluetooth going here.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Howdy. What's going on, everybody?
Let me get my Bluetooth going here.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I had to get mine going. It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, this internet is a pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. I'm live. Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. Angela, the one that's got Larry with her, she and I was posted post, and she did not know that them rumble strips, when there's ice on them, would help her stop an 18-wheeler if you would glide over there real easy, get on before you put on your brakes. That kind of give you a rub board, a stopping effect on slick conditions. And she was really surprised about that, using those rumble strips as one of her get by, just to help her stop.
Howdy, howdy, Kenny.
Oh yeah, I mean,
howdy, Arn.
During the snow, when it's snowing and the roads are snow covered, that shoulder is, I believe, I've found to get more traction out of the shoulder on those rumble strips, than I would out here.
All right.
And
because those rumble strips are not one solid sheet of ice.
And the thing
I don't know if you guys can't read the comments, I'm reading them for you. Right now we got Daphne Jenkins in here, we got Aronson in here, got Heather's in here, Diane's in here, and Tammy's in here right now.
Yep.
And the old school drivers, you see, they know that this, and they know to check in between their tires with rocks and stuff in between the tires, because them could be projectiles that would cause a lot of damage to the people that's following you in the rear. And it's a must do what you call a pre-trip examination when you before you start out in a truck, and also when you're clearing pipe out in the middle of the field and stuff of that nature. You're more likely to pick up those bigger boulders in between the tires than you would be anywhere else, and that's you have to be extra careful in those situations.
I agree. Yeah, Robert is one of them old drivers.
Get that pre-trip in there. Get that post-trip in there.
Robert is one of them older drivers that's been driving longer than all of us. So I'll just tell you that right from the word go.
Yeah. And most people do not understand that you can take one of those paper matchbooks And here is a trick that you can see if your brakes are in adjustment or out adjustment. You can take that cardboard match cover, stick it in between your brake and your drum, and it will give you a pretty well proper measurement on how your brake's supposed to be adjusted. And that's one of the old school tricks of the trade that's out there that the old school drivers knows and should also the new drivers should know this as a gauge uh, to to see if their brakes are properly adjusted.
Well, and
One of
nowadays,
the let me respond real quick. One of the viewers named Aretson, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, or instead of butchering it, he said he almost lost control this year during a storm in Wyoming, and he said that rumble strip saved his life.
oh yeah. Well, you know, when it comes to brakes nowadays, they've done away with the old style brakes. They all the brakes nowadays and all the trucks that are coming out are self-adjusting slack adjusters. So now it's no more of actually getting down there and having to, you know, wrench it off and turn it back one and all that. Pretty much now it's just a matter of backing up and, you know, hitting your brakes, and that'll adjust your brakes for you, so you no longer actually have to get underneath there and do it yourself.
Right.
That's good.
The only thing that I suggest is basically to take a look and see how much of a gap you got when the trailer brakes are released, because that's what DOT gets you by, is that specific amount. They don't care if your brakes work. They don't care if they do this and that and the other. But if they're out of adjustment and those slack adjusters quit for whatever, you know, they're froze or whatever the deal is, that is where they get you on an inspection.
Yeah, they work good to a point
Right.
till they get wore out and won't self-adjust.
So I don't know if anybody actually knows the actual what your brakes are allowed to be out as far as measurement wise goes, but atypically if it's over 1/4 of an inch, it's too much.
Yeah.
You're right, Arnie. You're absolutely right there, and that's the reason why that matchbook cover it's it's pretty good gauge, you know, to see if they're out of adjustment or whatever. And that's what the old school drivers used to use, and they used to carry one of them matchbooks, paper matchbooks, in their pockets at all times, and that's what they went by, and that's what they taught me in school when I went to school, and these people that don't know how to bump a dock, you need to look at on both sides of your truck when you're backing into the dock and see the distance of the trailer next to you and the trailers down about 2 or 3 rows down to see, you know, how you can slow up to not where that you can bump a
Hello, everybody.
bump a dock real severely. And
all right,
and that,
hold on a second there, Robert. Hold on a second there, Robert. I'm gonna tell you who's all in the room here. Pat just left. Jerry's down at the bottom. Kenny's on one side, and Will is down on the bottom. So those are the people that are in the room right now.
Hey, well,
Mr. Kenny, I'm sorry, Robert, if you look down at the bottom of your phone there where it says chat, okay, you can actually click that button right there where it says chat, and then you can read the comments that the people are saying as we're typing, okay? And then you can hit the little X up here in the corner, and it'll bring you right back to this screen that we're in, okay?
okay. There's, I hit the chat. Now the X.
Now, there you go. I tell you what, Jerry, I'm glad you joined. I would seriously like to see you on this right here, doing a little Bible study, throwing it out there, and getting everybody to join with the stuff that you do from your church right there. And I'm glad that you're here.
Oh, okay. Hey, anytime, man.
So,
I just have to
you know,
get
we
with
can
you.
have that, no offense, have a topic on like I'd say Bible study, but everybody's got their own little opinions on stuff, and when you can have a discussion on it, and you know, whether it's theological or whatever however you want to look at it,
Right.
Bring it to the people's attention, just like what we're doing right now, talking about the trucks and the different things. And I know that Dennis is going to be doing some cooking stuff from his truck. So maybe that if we've got any chefs that are out here that would like to join the chat, that kind of thing, when we start doing these different things, that's why I said before, Dennis has said it, we created this to bring everybody together on this platform so that you got a face to a voice, on a comment and that kind of thing. That is how that's what we're doing with this. You remember we talked about this a long time ago, Jerry, that we were going to try to get something like this.
Yeah, I remember.
And so that is what this is, and this is 100% for the viewers, to get them interactive, involved in everything we do. Okay.
All righty. Yeah, we decided to hit the pool before dinner.
Well, I've been pulling a motor all day.
It's only 105 over here.
Only 105.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'll tell you what I got over here. Give me 1 second. I got 84 degrees.
Oh,
is what I got right here.
Wow, and you're in Arizona. You should be hotter than that.
Oh, we got about 60 here.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Oh, man.
At midnight, it's like 97, 98 at midnight.
I think it was 86.
Is it really?
I think it was 86
Wow.
last night at midnight.
Yeah.
I think it was 86 last night.
Well, you know where Tanya lives there in Bullhead, her temperature the other night, it was almost midnight, and it was still almost 100 degrees.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, yeah. We know.
And I felt so bad because I was at like 60 something, and I was just,
Yeah. Heck, I wouldn't
Yeah,
feel bad.
we're about 65 degrees here in Spokane.
In Spokane?
Isn't
Yeah.
it usually hot?
Isn't it usually hotter than that up there?
Yeah, but we had a rain front that would come through and kind of cool things, way down, and it was, it was a blessing because we've been having, temperatures around 90, 95, somewhere thereabouts,
Right.
102 degrees, and so when that rain front came through and cooled it down real good, it was a good blessing in disguise.
Oh, good.
I think that
Yeah, because they all of Washington and if you wet me, boy, I'm gonna whoop you. Got my grandson here that just don't know how to be a fish without splashing water. He no anyway,
right on.
but yeah, up there is always known for always being wet, wet and gloomy. I don't know about Spokane, but I know certain parts of Washington and up Oregon, that end of Oregon is always wet and stuff.
I would like to touch on a little subject here. Is the federal government right now is trying to impose a mileage tax. That's what Biden is trying to, bring on. And if he brings this mileage tax in on the truckers, it's going to increase the freight, and it's going to cause more inflation than what it is now on the shipping and stuff of that nature and the shipping costs. We're slipping on a dangerous slope when it comes to doing a mileage tax on the truckers and also the regular people that just drives cars and stuff of that nature. it's going to be a bad policy.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. They've throughout the years they've increased so many regulations, rules, taxes, everything upon the truckers. I think they get the feeling that us truckers make a lot of money. And I tell you what, man, if it's not one thing, it's another. The e-logs come in, they limit you on your driving, so you lose money that way. I mean, every way that they can take away a dime, they try to do it. Or they done it, yeah. Hey guys, is there other people on here that are talking? Because I can't see the comments or anything like that. Are we able to see comments?
If you look at the bottom of the screen, Jerry, where it says chat on this thing, if you click that chat button, then you'll see who's in the room. It'll take you off this screen and into the chat. And then to get out of that, you close the little X that's to the top right up there, and that brings you back to the chat.
Oh, I see.
Stay on chat and see the.
So you can't see them both. You can't do them both. Okay.
Right. If you had two devices, you could be on the Facebook, the main page, and you could see all the comments. You'd be able to comment from there, but you would not be the live thing, because that's what this thing is. So you kind of got to scroll between the two.
Oh, okay.
Robert, you know they're trying to pass a law too, to where everybody has to carry $2 million worth of liability insurance too.
Yeah, well, I don't know how the owner operator. I've never been an owner operator, so I don't know how that rolls. I've always been a company person, so that part, yeah, I got no comment on that, man.
Dose of medicine. Give me a dose of medicine.
That's why I always work for a company. That way they got to worry about it.
Good evening,
But
guys.
boy,
Bob Don, quick bit. Just gotta
So
say,
how's your shoulder, Jerry?
It's doing a little bit better. I'm able to have a little bit more mobility, but certain if I hey, I can lift my fork. Let's put it that way.
Well, I'll tell you this much. With having the pool back here, the first couple of days that I used it, I could feel my legs getting better. Okay.
Oh, good.
And because of doing all the stuff, because of the stuff I've been doing, my midsection, my upper body is what hurts. Because I haven't used it in so long.
Right.
So it's a good thing, bad thing, but I'm still not giving up. You know what I mean?
About using your upper body. If you don't use your upper body, like I haven't really done much lately. And today I reached over to grab my seatbelt and I got me a cramp right in my side from twisting. It felt like it was right underneath my ribs, and I was like, "Oh God, that hurt."
Yeah. I agree.
Gary,
I agree.
Gary, I get them every once in a while, them sharp, knotty pain right up under the top of my rib. And oh my God, them suckers feels like you're going to have a heart attack, for crying out loud.
It does. It's painful. When I did that, the last time that happened is because I wasn't drinking enough water. And I had to actually physically get out of my pickup and get out and stretch it, and like, oh man, because I was in pain. I was in a lot of pain, so I had to actually stop at a stop sign, get out of my truck, and just try to stretch it out because it hurt that bad. It knocks the air out of you. It was painful. But my sister-in-law, she's a nurse, and she said it's come from not drinking enough water.
Huh?
That's how you get that.
Well, I'll tell you what,
I got a question.
It's a pleasure to see all y'all on here. It's just a real deep pleasure.
Hey, everybody.
I had a question from how you doing? There's Tanya down in the background. I'm not sure who else just joined there. I can't read their little thing there, but I had a question from one of the viewers, and they asked basically what part of the industry, as far as driving, is making money? Like flatbed, reefer, dry van, that kind of thing. What pays the most, kind of thing, when you're out there driving?
Company drivers, they all make the same no matter what. But I would think, from what I've heard and friends that I've talked to, anything with a flatbed that you got to tie down because they give you mileage, they give you tie down, they give you strapping or chaining for covering it. You make different money just doing, working more, doing more work. So I would
Right.
think that the people I've talked to, they said they make better money doing flatbed.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said,
I
I
would
work for a
agree.
company.
Anybody else?
Give me that
Let me get back in.
But like I said, I work for a company, so they pay me the same whether I'm pulling reefer or flatbed. I mean, reefer or box.
Will, can you hear me out there?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
I was going to ask you the same question. What do you think pays most out in this industry right now? Flatbed, dry van, refrigerated. What do you think pays out here now?
Well, just for my experience, what I'm going through right now, I got to say, dry would pay more.
Okay.
Mainly because you hook and book it. You drop your load, grab another load, you hit the road, you get paid miles. Night who I'm going to right now, they have to pay dead loads, called dead loads. So if your wheels are moving, you're making money.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I would like to say that my thought on that would be cattle haulers because they've got to wash out the trucks and stuff that nature and do a spot check with their load, see that the cattle are not down and whatever, and it carries a lot of responsibility when you're a cattle truck hauler and do that kind of job.
But yeah, that's what I heard. I heard cattle and car hauling, brand new car hauling. I talked to one of the guys. He's almost a dollar, and then with the bonuses, and you get there with no scratches, no dings on the car, to where he's making almost $1.50, almost sometimes $2 a mile.
I'll take it a step further, and I'll say this: if you're a company driver, it all depends on whether you're flatbed, dry van, refrigerated. Depending on what you make for money, they start you at a base pay, and you can go up. If you work for a company that pays you per mile versus, let's say, a salary or gives you the bonuses, the stuff that goes with it, you still become kind of limited. When you become a lease operator and you start going to different portions of different things, whether you're a flatbed, a dry van, any of that kind of stuff, you start making a little bit more money, almost like an owner-operator does, but you don't have the expenses of an owner-operator. Now, if you're going to talk about whether it's flatbed, dry van, reefer, tanker, car hauler, bull hauler, that kind of thing, they all pay different depending on if you're a company driver, a lease, or an owner-op. I mean, everybody knows that if you're an owner-op, you can make, $9-10 a mile. You can make those $10,000-15,000 loads, no problem. It's just a question of how much responsibility do you want to put into it, whether it's a lease, whether you're doing an owner-op. You know what I mean? That's what it depends. That's what it boils down to. So, if you don't want to have a basically another house payment or insurance and all the rest of everything goes with it, stay with a company driver, and then do your 20 years. You look at the different aspects of it, from a company, whether they got retirement, they got bonuses, 401k, different kind of insurance, all that stuff. When you become a lease driver and an owner operator, you got to do by yourself. Okay. So that's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
Hello, Paul. It's nice seeing your lovely face out there. What were you doing there, bud?
Just sitting here listening to the Gabby Gabs.
Welcome aboard.
Thought I would come in and gab
Did you hear the question, Paul?
Yeah.
Did you hear the question, Paul?
I did, and for me, I would say probably the flatbed industry as a whole. if you're looking at mileage pay, TARP pay, and the benefits that you get from the companies now. And Jerry kind of hit on something a while ago that made me think about the EODs, the electronic logging. Yeah, it was a headache when it came into play, and it forced everybody into doing things legal. But I think you're seeing some of the fruit finally pay off from that. Is it's forced these companies to come up on the pay, since now everybody is kind of shorting their mileage down, and people started bailing out of the industry because they weren't making the money that they could before. So it kind of forced the companies into bringing the pay up across the board
Yeah.
in the industry to try to retain these drivers and to get new drivers into the industry. And they're still having issues with getting new drivers in the industry, and so the pay's coming up even more. There are certain companies out there in the dry van division that pays a little bit better,
I can't.
and reefer units that pay a little bit better. Cattle industry pays a little bit better. But then it's when you go into, do I really want to be walking in cow dung all day long, back and forth? And that drives the pay scale up is trying to attract somebody into
No, baby,
part of the industry, not very attractive. So I know that they would have to pay
what would you
a
say,
lot of
Kenneth?
money.
What would you say, Kenneth? What would you say? I know you're not really a part of the industry per se, but being the things that you do, the things that you've heard, what would you say?
I would say flatbed. I would say with what Paul was saying. I would probably say pretty much the same thing, because there's a lot more work involved in that to me. I mean, so I would think it would pay a little bit more.
Can I ask you a question?
Cool.
Go ahead, Robert.
Sure.
How many people would you say in the trucking industry would go along with a mandate law that would make every 18-wheeler be equipped with CB radios because of the road hazards that's out there? Like this past winter, we've had several pileups out there on the freeway and stuff of that nature, and we know that we cannot get out there with a cell phone and call that other truck driver on the opposite side of the road because we haven't got his phone number. But if we got a CB radio and they've got the CB radio on at all times, and the drivers has got their CB radios on at all times, even though if it's at a low key where you can hear them or where they can hear you, on your chat and on your cell phone, feeds and stuff of that nature. I believe that it should be a mandatory law to have it because it is a safety feature that warns people that, hey, we've got a pileup up there, and if you're notified of a pileup out there on the road, at least 6, 8, 10 miles ahead, then you've got time enough to not be in this pileup as well. So I believe, my personal belief, I believe that it should be a mandatory law for every truck driver out there to have these tools for safety reasons.
The only problem I see with that are some. Okay, say night transportation. They would consider it. I think if you have it, you have it, but otherwise it becomes a distraction. Just like streaming, they told me I couldn't stream no more because it's a distraction. Having a CB radio is a distraction. They don't realize that the positioning of their Qualcomm system is a big distraction because you got to physically take your eyes off the road to look at their Qualcomm system, their messages. They're driving the The directions that they give, you got to physically look away from the road. As to where streaming is right in front of you. You don't have to take your eyes off the road. You still got your mirrors. You just got everything right in sight. But it's a distraction. So I think anything, I don't know. I think they're doing the wrong dick.
I don't think it should be a law, but I think.
What would you say, Jack?
Somebody should have a
Rooster.
My wife commented. She said they're full of poo poo.
Go ahead, Jack, and then I'll come in after Jack.
Just saying, I don't think it should be a law, but I think that everybody should have a CD in the truck. I miss this, getting notified ahead of time that, hey, you need to be in the left lane or the right lane, or hey, yeah, there's something going on.
Yeah.
Cell phones took all that shit over. I can't call you. Going down the freeway. What the hell good's that going to do?
Right.
And the stuff that Knight got, that Jerry's talking about, we don't have that. That's a distraction.
That is.
And these guys are messaging me on a computer all day, and I'm like, you don't want me to touch my phone. You don't want me texting. You don't want me making phone calls. But you're texting me on this little computer that got it. I'm like, I'm not answering yet.
Yeah, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. It's okay when they want you to do it.
Thing is they're not driving. They're not on the road. They're not us, so they don't have a clue. But they know what to tell you to do. That's all. Where to go, how to get there. I don't even think they know how to tell you where to get there. Number one.
No, they don't.
They know nothing about trucking. Period. Zero.
I had them give me directions, take me across the border, so I had to make a U-turn and I had to call. Okay, their directions gave me a route going. I had to go through the border there, so I have to make a U-turn. But our company has a no U-turn policy, so I had to call them. They had to turn on all the cameras in the truck. They have to watch me make a safe U-turn. The whole works. Yeah, they're just pretty far out there.
What are you in the pool? You swimming?
Yeah, he's rubbing it in on the rest of us that's not in a pool.
Man, look at this guy.
Oh yeah.
Who we got sitting in the? Is that Valerie still sitting down there in the dark down there? Did she?
No,
that's Kenny.
Kenny.
That's Kenny.
That's Shadow Man. That's what I call him.
No, I see Kenny, but I think we got one other one down there sitting down there.
You got somebody in the dark.
No, you got Kenneth, and then you got Kenny.
There's me and Kenny.
Yeah. No, what I was going to say, Robert, is, I mean, it's a good thought process, what you're talking about for the safety aspect of it. But in fact, on the opposite end, with the people that's in the CSA, they're actually going the opposite direction. They're trying to outlaw CB radios in the truck because it's a distraction. And there again, you've got people that's head over that organization that have never been in the trucking industry, have never driven a truck, never worked at a trucking company, never had anything to do with the trucking industry. And yet they hand down these rules and regulations to the trucking industry. But, yeah, it would be nice if everybody would run the radio, and it would be even nicer if they would run it in a respectful manner.
Right.
What has happened is the reason that so many people have turned them off is because of all the trash that you hear on the radio. Now, I personally keep mine on.
Exactly.
I just keep it squelched down a little bit. But, y'all can remember the days, hey, I'm trying to get to Coca-Cola. Do you know where it's at? Buy a GD map, you stupid. You just got cussed out for asking for directions, and people got tired of it, so they started cutting it off.
Yeah.
And so that aspect, I can understand it fully, but no, it would be definitely nice, especially in adverse weather when you've got road conditions. It's very dangerous. People should be turning on the radio, but unfortunately, we live in a world where it's kind of become the norm to not be the norm. People are doing their own thing, going a different direction, and and not being saved and not doing the things they should be doing out there.
Well, it's kind of like with everything else. If you use it for what it was intended to do, it's a tool. If you use it for stupid things, it becomes a distraction and a stupid object.
Yeah, you see a mechanic with a tool. I mean, every mechanic's got a tool, and he uses it for the purpose it's intended. He's not over beating himself in the head with a wrench going, duh, like you said, if it was used for the purpose, it would be great,
That's like a friend of mine was telling me. He says, "Hey, them computers and stuff, they're evil. That's from the devil." I said, "No." I said, "It's not. A computer is a good tool until you start looking at porn and looking at stuff. Then it becomes an evil tool." Okay.
Yeah, it's what you use it for is the evil.
Right.
It's not the computer itself. The computer doesn't turn it on and start using it.
A car can be very useful, but you turn it around and you can make it a killing machine. I mean, it's just your perspective on how you're going to do things.
It kills me how people blame devices for being wrong or being at fault or causing these issues. No, it's not that. It's the people that wield it,
Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Yeah. Yep, exactly right. If you lay a gun on the table, what is it going to do? It's not going to do anything but lay on the table. It's when somebody picks it up, he chooses to use it for good or evil. So
exactly. Yeah,
I agree.
Amen.
Boy, this is fun.
For me personally, I think it should be a prerequisite for every single driver, regardless. And like one of the viewers just said, he remembers the days when you had to be licensed to use a CB radio and a ham radio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's just it's still a law that the radios that you get from factory are preset at I think it's 8 watts, Arnie, or something like that. And that's I think it's limited to 8 watts legally. Anything over that, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong because I can't remember for sure, but anything over that is actually illegal. You're not supposed to have, and I'm guilty of it too. I got a radio sitting over here that's pushing 88 watts, but I keep it turned down because I don't want to be walking over the top of everybody else that's trying to get information that's 5 miles down the road. I don't want to bleed over on them, but I think it should be mandatory that all trucking companies put a CBR radio to give their drivers option to have it. If they have, especially people that are starting out that can't afford to go out and buy one.
We have.
You was talking about your 88 watts there, Paul. I used to have one in my truck that has a 250 JB pushing at my radio. And boy, you talk about some illegal power there. I was illegal as all kinds of illegal out there when I was talking on the radio, and Arnie will tell you that he heard me in several spots, and he thought I was right next door to him, but yet I was all the way across the United States. Me pounding on my daggum monkey shooter. I was ringing my bell, and so I was shooting all kinds of power. And FCC, if they'd have caught me, they would have wrung my neck and like a chicken and throw my neck down the trash.
Yeah, you're talking about running them high power kickers, which the trucks nowadays, it's harder to do that with. Like my radio in my truck, I turn the power up on it, and it's just barefoot. And I turn the power up on it and key up on the mic, and all the cab lights would come on. And these new trucks, they can't handle that wattage because they got all these, computerized systems and everything in it. And then you run the risk of burning up a computer and getting fired because you got this big radio in there. So.
Yep.
And so you end up having to run go ahead, Jerry.
I said, plus you run the risk of getting beat up. I got a big mouth. You cut me off. That's another good reason I prefer not to have one.
Yeah, maybe had the radio without the mic.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. Who we got just popped in down there at the bottom? I can't see who that is.
That's Ron. Hey, Ron.
That's Ron. Oh yeah, Ron Peterson. There you go. Right on.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Couldn't read it. I'm doing good. How are you?
Hey, Ron.
Tonight, bud?
Good, man. I'm enjoying the water here. Just getting hungry. Swimming makes you hungry.
Getting
So,
hungry.
yeah. My stepdaughter's making tortas with carne asada. So I'm working up a great appetite here, and
Oh, wow.
it's about that time.
Yeah. Now remember, you can't go swimming 30 minutes after you eat. You know.
Jerry,
I'm going 30 minutes before.
Stop eating, Jerry. You need to get back to work.
Oh man, I tell you what, the shoulder injury doesn't affect my eating habits.
So, all right, tell me what happened to your shoulder, Jerry. I've missed that somewhere along the line. What happened?
Well, actually, I mean, you know how you got your runner by your seat where you grab you get on the first step, you pull yourself up, and then grab your second handle. Well, I grabbed the first handle, and I just felt a big pain when I was pulling myself in my truck. I felt a big pain in my shoulder. And then after I got in my truck, it kind of didn't, like, what the heck, you know? And it just kind of started going away. So I disconnected my trailer, parked my truck and stuff. And that was on Friday about noon, because I had to put it in the shop. And they went to the inspection bay. So after I got out of the inspection bay, I mean, I disconnected my trailer and put my truck over there because they had to put it in the shop. And that evening, I started getting a little sore. Well, the next day, I went and ate breakfast with Pastor and stuff, and it started actually hurting. And by Sunday morning, when I went to church, I tell you what, I couldn't lift my arm. All that night, I couldn't sleep on it. I didn't get no sleep because I couldn't sleep on it. And if I turned the other way, it would hang and it would pull on it. So I was just in a whole bunch of pain. And so I don't know if I pulled something, tore something, but just from pulling myself into the truck.
It sounds like you may have tore your rotator cuff a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get a little bit more momentum now, but not a lot more, but yeah.
That's what happened to me when I went to see your book. You remember the same exact thing?
Yeah, same thing happened to my wife.
I was pulling myself up, and when I pulled myself up, I felt a pull in my arm. It started pain. It hurt bad. And then when we got back a week later, I went and I had a torn rotator cuff.
That's probably good.
But it happened the same exact thing Jerry did.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
I got a question. Then. What would it take, being in the truck, to get you to exercise to where you're not just sitting behind the wheel every day? What would be something that would make, or something they could do in a truck to keep active, to where they're not just sitting there and go from the driver's seat out to the fuel aisle to the inside, you know what I mean, and then back to the bunk? What would it take or something that would give somebody some kind of exercise to where, other than they're just sitting in the seat all day? What would be some advice?
Not for your seat.
Hey, Arnie, set yourself up over the top with Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever he was. No, it wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No,
it was
Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone
behind him in the seat.
So yeah, but
well, first of all, you got to have self-discipline. That's the key component right there. And without self-discipline, you're not going to do it, no matter what you got.
And most truckers ain't got that.
Yep. And it's hard to come by when you're driving 14 hours a day. What's the number one thing you're combating? Fatigue.
Right.
And that's the last thing you want to do is do more physical exercise, For me, I would say, like, whenever you stop, just setting yourself up to stop every 3 hours. get out of the truck, walk around, do a few push-ups, like for me on the flatbed, I got that rub rail, so I can grab it and do some pull-ups that way. It's not killing me, but it's still working my body out a little bit. Of course, I get natural exercise pulling and throwing in tarps anyways.
But now, the other day we were going through some of the stuff in the room, and when my wife hurt her shoulder, the doctor gave her this band, this rubber band, and I think I'm going to take that in my truck. And what you do is you can put it on your mirror, and you can use it and stretch. It's just resistance. And so every time I stop, like maybe I can do about 15 on each arm, and you can do it. You can put it on your leg, and work out your legs. You can do a lot of things with that little rubber band.
Jerry, you know your
my phone is about 21%, and so I'm gonna have to sign off here. Nice meeting y'all, Jack. Nice meeting you, Ron. Nice meeting you, Kenneth.
Same here.
And all the rest, and of course I know Rooster, and I know Arnie, and I know Jerry. So all the rest of y'all, nice meeting you, and we're gonna get on this chat some other time, since I know how to get on it. So love y'all, and y'all be safe out there.
Take care, be blessed, and have
See
a
you,
great.
Robert.
Yeah, take care.
Hey, Robert.
So
Okay,
Jerry,
bud.
what I was saying was
Catch you
that
later.
rubber you got. You got your coat hanger behind your driver's seat, or no, you probably don't, because you got a sleeper.
Yeah, I got a weird truck.
So I take mine and I hook it on that coat rack, and I make loops on the bottoms of them, so I can work one arm. I got my arm rest down, and I just do. And then when that arm's done, I do a set of those. Then I just do the other side because it's right there around you.
Right.
Do you
Yeah,
those
that's
a
what
day?
I think. That's what I think I'm going to start using once I get back in and rolling.
Because you can take it straight up. Take the other one out. That's good on your shoulder, man. And then that, good for your forearms and your elbows. So.
Yeah, because the only forearm action I get is when I'm eating.
Oh, me too.
I'm gonna start switching hands there. Double fork it.
There you go. I'll double up. Yeah, I hear you. But all right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna get out of here, dry out, and I'm gonna go eat me some dinner.
Go on,
Enjoy
Jim.
All right.
So you guys have a good one.
Thank you much, Jerry.
It's been fun, and I'll be on here again. I got nothing but time right now.
I hear, brother. We'll see you, Jerry.
All right.
Have a good night, Jerry.
Enjoy your dinner.
See you, bud.
I got to put my dinner away. I ate in front of you guys. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm all right. I've already eaten, so I'm totally full. But some of these other people might have wanted some.
Man, sausage stuffed raviolis, rosemary olive oil bread dipped in butter.
Oh, that's good stuff right there.
And some salad. Shit. And a little bit, but we won't mention that.
No, talking about the exercise, that's the biggest demon to fight is just self-discipline. Because, whether we like to admit it or not, most truck drivers take the path of least resistance. Even as a flatbedder, having to tarp and untarp and row straps up and stuff like that, you find the easiest and quickest way to get around doing all that stuff. And so, yeah, it's some hard stuff. You take a 120-pound tarp, and start throwing it, especially in the heat. It'll work you, but it's still only like 30 minutes a day or an hour a day or something like that. And still, I'm still puzzled as how I was gaining weight doing all that stuff, 2-3 hours a day out, especially out in the heat, sweating like I was. Well, come to find out, it was all the Coca-Colas and the Gatorades. I didn't realize Gatorade was packed full of sugar. So Yeah, I still wasn't getting enough exercise.
They have a new Gatorade that's zero.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, my brother was telling me about that the other day. So that's what I'm having to do is get on the non-sugar stuff. So
I bet it don't taste very well.
probably not. Not many things that are sugar free taste pleasant. So it's just getting used to it, and doing what I got to do to get my sugar back down. So,
Yeah, to step out of there, I had to stretch my legs.
Talking about the exercise, there you go. So,
yeah, well, sitting down on my butt all day for me, you know what I mean?
Right. So, Arnie, they got your pool finished or no?
Yeah, it's up. They're actually in the back right now. They're all back there swimming. When we did well, we've been working on a lot of different things is what we've been doing out here. We had the pool. We had to dig the hole for that and get, fill the hole, put a couple of tarps in the bottom of that. And then we put probably about 2.5 tons of sand in the bottom of that. And, raking everything out, leveling it all out so where it's level. And then once we got it up, it took 2 days basically to fill it with water with the little garden hose there. Once we got that all done, it started raining out here. And because we didn't get the one side finished, it sunk a little bit. And then, it's not hard to fix. We just got to push in these little bars and then repack underneath of where it's at. But in the process, all that, we still had to build part of the deck to go around it, because everybody here, like my buddy's wife, she could barely walk. She's had surgeries and this and that and the other, and so her knees are shot. You know what I mean? So we had to make something easy for her. Well, at the same time, everything he's done here has made it easy for me. And his whole thing was, if I can do it, then she'll be able to do it. And
Right.
so with everything that's been going on, we were splitting wood out here one day, and I happened to be standing on the side of the wood when it split, come flying, it hit me 2 times in my shins, and those are my legs. And that was like, oh my God, Well, in the same process, all that, his son-in-law's car lost the motor, and that's what we were doing the last few days here now. Now, mind you, everything that happens here is literally to pay it forward to my buddy's grandson as he grows up in life.
Right.
Because his mom got killed. That's how they got all this money. At the same time, I have, because of everything, my situation, which brought me here, I get to help him. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful to have a place to stay, as well as everything else. My buddy here, I don't think you guys can see it, but there's a couple of cars over my shoulder back here, and he gave me the choice of a couple of them. Okay, and at the same time, he's gonna buy me a 36-foot travel trailer to put down here on his property. So if I want to build my own stuff on my own property, I have the use of the backhoe and all of the equipment to go to do the things that I need to do. And it's
That's
just a matter
awesome.
of time. But as I said, the things that have happened to me in my life, I'm still not complaining about. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not me. You know what I mean? And I keep telling everybody, I know it hurts. You know what I mean? Even like, that's why I brought up with you guys doing exercise and the rest of it. Same as me right now. I got out and walked. When I got to that point to where I was hurting, it didn't matter, and right now I've already taken a little pain pill, which sucks because I'm taking them like every day now, doing all the work that I'm doing. Same time, that pool has made my legs better, 100%. I could tell it the very first day that I was in there. So with everything that I'm doing, my midsection from not being able to work it is what's kicking my butt,
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what they cut in me was my stomach muscles, you know, to open me up. Well, at the same time, I can't, I'm not one of those that just going to lay there and die. You know what I mean? I'm going to get
Right.
up. I'm going to do the things that need to happen, you know, and yeah, I'm going to hurt. Yeah. You know, this, that, and the other, but bottom line, you got to do it, you know, even, you know, when I came to meet you, and the same thing that you have asked me is that everybody else has asked me, you know, is how you doing? Are you all right? You know, you're not hurting, you know, this, that, and the other. And it's like, even if I was hurting, I'm not going to tell you, you know,
Right.
I'm just going to keep doing what I got to do. There's no sense that doesn't get me anywhere. It's not a positive thing. You know what I mean? And I constantly try to pay it forward and stay positive. You know, even all the stuff that I was doing today, with the new girl that came on, um, during, you know, dropping the engine, pulling it out, you know, me and her are talking back and forth, and I'm getting her set up to go live. And you know how that takes. You know what it does, right? All of you do,
Right.
because I've helped all of you, right? And so when it was all said and done, she's now live. You know,
And she's
what can
awesome.
I
You
say?
know, she done an awesome job today. So,
Yeah,
uh,
she's a pretty little lady. She's got 5 kids. Her and her hubby both drive. He was in the back while she was driving. They're team drivers. She's trying to get her own truck, because they're doing the lease thing, and she wants to be home more with the kids. You know, I mean, I spoke to her in detail about all the stuff that she wants to do, as well as what, you know, how this will kind of help her benefit her, for her kids to be able, actually be able to see her, you know, driving down the road, kind of a thing,
right.
and be able to talk to her, you know, without sitting there making phone calls for 10 years. You know what I mean? And at the same time, you know as well as I do, when you're on this and it's nighttime and there's nobody there, this actually keeps you awake. You know,
Yep.
it takes your mind off those little white lines. You know what I mean? And this is one of those things that we're fighting on every single aspect that you can imagine, whether it's on Lana's page, whether it's on, you know, like your Trucker Safety Divas on their own little safety page. There's other people that are here that I have specifically spoke to that work for different companies, and I'm like, look, just check out what we do and how we do what we do, and then tell me it's a safety issue. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you're always going to have stupid stuff. You know, I mean, somebody's going to grab their phone for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But atypically, I'm going to say a driver knows better than most of the little four wheelers, because we're not staring at this thing because we got an 80,000-pound bullet underneath our ass. You know what I mean? And I look at it like this little camera that you got facing out, when you're in foggy conditions, it's going to see what your eyes can't see. It's going to change the whole view of what you see. If you don't believe me, wait till it happens when it's foggy, when it's snowy. This camera is going to cut through all of that, because it's not your human eye. It doesn't blink. It doesn't deviate. It just stares at it and focuses on it. And, you know, I mean, think about it. They can pick a license plate from outer space. You think your phone can't, you know, go 60, 70 miles down the road, right? To where your eye goes, what is that? You know?
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
mean. People don't realize that's what the phone cameras are designed to do. Is designed to eliminate anything that's fuzzy or affects the picture, or you know,
yep.
sunlight. It eliminates that. It eliminates blur. It eliminates fog. It eliminates darkness. You know, it lights it up when you
You
can't see
can
it.
look
That's
over
what
my
it's
shoulder,
focused to do.
and you can see the outside. It looks like it's nice and bright on my camera. In reality, it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my camera is picking up the rays for all that. You know what I mean? And that's what it does. That is what it's designed to do.
So
You
mine,
know?
I have a problem seeing the lines at night, and through Seattle, you know, they don't take care of it around here. The lines are all faded; you can barely see them. So when it's raining, I will glance at my camera to see the lines. You can
Yes, because you can see them. Exactly.
So I do use that for that reason when I'm streaming. You know, I mean, it's not really a
Exactly.
thing to, you know, if I can't
Well,
find
what happens is you got some people, like Arnie was saying, you got some people that take something like that can be helpful, and they get solely focused on reading or something like that, and it's a total distraction. Not everybody does.
I did a thing once, and I can even prove it right here, just as we are live right now. I don't know how many people we got in the room as far as viewers and comments and all that stuff, but I can prove it to you, literally, to anybody that's watching right now. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover my lens just like what you see here, okay? And this is what I'm going to do. And I want you to think about this in a nutshell. And I'm going to turn this around so you can see it, okay? Now, I want you to text I space LOVE space YOU. And you didn't see me turn around because that's the sunset behind me, not the house, not the car. You just missed 6 seconds of your life staring at your phone, texting those words. And those 3 little words are usually the last 3 words that you type to somebody. So when you crash, the last thing they're going to see out of you is I love you.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
so just remember that.
I got a sister-in-law that lost her daughter to texting, you know. So I'm very aware of that and very much an advocate for putting the phone down, keeping it out of your hand and stuff like that. Because, you know, being out here on the road, and I see it every day that I'm out on the road, 4 out of 6 cars have a phone in their hand. And, and it's, you know, like, put the phone down, pay attention. And you can usually tell them, too, the ones that are doing it, because you'll see them up there and they're not staying in the lane straight. They're just, they're constantly back and forth like that.
You know exactly what they're doing when you see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That or they're
and they don't realize, and they're driving a little 3,000, 4,000 pound car, even a 7,000 pound pickup truck, right? And they don't realize that 7,000 versus 80,000 does not work. You know what I mean? That's a heavyweight versus a flyweight, and bottom line, we're going to knock them into next week if something bad happens, you know, and they wreck in front of us, you know what I mean? And no offense, if we tried to avoid something like that, doing 80,000 pounds to where they got stupid and they're crashing, it's not like we're going to turn the wheel and you know, jeopardize, because the minute you roll that truck's going whichever way it's going to go, you know, and you can't control it. So the only thing that you can control is what you do. So when you get to that point to where you're getting squirrely or you're trying to avoid something, it all depends on what your load does. Because if your load shifts, it moves over. Next thing you know is you just took out 20 cars. You know what I mean? You just forced a major accident to happen by trying to avoid one. You know what I mean? And that's kind of always been my issue, is on what to do in that circumstance. You know what I mean? And I kind of did a video on that the other night when I talked about it, about one of my incidents that I had, which was a scary one, and it actually involved a nitro truck that was, when we stopped, he wasn't even a half inch off my DOT bar, okay, and he was fully loaded with 40,000 pounds of nitro, and if that thing would have even caught a spark, it would have leveled everything around us for 5 miles. You know what I mean? And so the choices I made was just to basically take out the one car in front of me. I didn't hit him. I stopped about 6 inches from the sliding door of the little minivan. But I saw everybody in there. I saw their faces. You know, grandma was just kind of freaking out and kind of covering her head. The 2 little kids that were in there, mom and dad, you know, and what else could I do? You know, as if something else would have changed and been different, you know, circumstances would have changed. So, but at the same time, you know, somebody that's driving, and I've said it a million times, go get a Bluetooth. They're $30. You know, you can get the cheapy little guys, and they answer your phone instead of texting. Call somebody. You'd rather hear a voice anyways. You know, whether it's your work, your friends, you know, whatever your coworkers, loved ones, any of that stuff, you know, that little $30 is going to save your life. It's going to save somebody else's, you know?
Yep. Well, that's the great thing about what we're doing here on this platform. It takes us away from, you know, the dangers of texting in conversations and stuff like that. We can see a quick message on there and we can reply verbally while we're focused on the road, you know, and it's
Right.
all about
Yep.
how you set it up. You know, like for me, when I first started, I put my phone up there on the windshield so that everybody could get a better view of it. And
Right.
it was farther away and it was a little more aggravating for me to reach up there and have to set everything up. So I had moved it down to the dash. Well, what I noticed is when it was on the dash, I was doing this more.
Yeah, you're looking down. Yeah.
You know, and I was like, nope, that's not going to work. So I put it back up in the window. And the only head movement I do now is none. My eyes dart over
Right.
to read a quick
It's
message. I'm
like
back
your
on the road.
ELD when they send you a message on that box is to your right and it's down below everything, and you're literally taking your head away from that. Look at that box, and you ain't even. There is no possible way you could even look at the road looking at that box.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if that's where they're going to put the GPS for the drivers to follow, which is, you know, their Qualcomms and stuff, right? If that's where they're going to put that, I mean, you're literally going to have to turn the speaker up severely loud to hear it. You know, if you got, you know, big pipes on your truck and all that. And to me, that is more of a distraction than anything. And you know it. I mean, you just know it. You know, we all do because we all drive with those stupid things. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's like, you know, my GPS is up on the windshield, up in the top center corner out of my viewing area for the road and stuff. But one of the companies I just talked to, the drivers, and that's what they were telling me was they want you to follow the route that they send you through the GPS on the EOD. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work because they don't have that up on the windshield. It's down there in the center of the dash, you know, where you got to turn your head way over to look at it, and that's more distracting than anything, like Jerry was saying earlier. That's not going to work for me. I'm going to follow my GPS and deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things I always get kind of anal about, I guess you'd say. So best way I can put it is the people. Some of them are following Google Maps, and they don't understand that Google Maps is not built for trucks. They have certain applications that are built for trucks, and even those, some of those are not accurate. And it all depends on what you use and how you use it to be, you know, that safety tool to make it work. You know, and if you're, I don't, even a weather map, for Christ's sake, you know, the stuff that people make just trying to make money to have an application out there, some of it works, some of it doesn't. I mean, I heard one of the kids last night when I was talking, he's like, oh yeah, I have this thing that comes to me from Twitch and lets me know about the weather. And I'm like, why? What is that, like 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes late by the time you see it?
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm like, go get this application, use it. I said, it'll blow your phone up when you're sleeping. You know what I mean? I said, it will not let you sleep until you answer this thing because you're in danger, you know? And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. And I'm like, yeah, well, I get that, you know? And so by the time it was all said and done, he's like, oh, that's a nice app. You know, it lets you know hurricanes, tornadoes, rain, you know, snow, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. And it shows, you know, the road conditions. It tells you where it's icy here, icy there. And I said, and it's updated like every 15 minutes. I said, so those are just the road conditions, not just the weather, you know?
Well,
so
you know,
all those little things that I tell people.
Let me ask you this, Arnie, get your perspective on it, because I heard this discussion the other day. It was the road atlas versus GPS. What say you?
Road atlas is true.
I'm trying to get you plugged in because I'm losing my phone. My battery's about to die.
Okay. Did you hear my question?
No, I did not. That's why I was trying to get you plugged in.
Okay, Road Atlas versus GPS. What do you say? I think he
Okay.
froze. There
I
he
think
goes.
I heard what. Yeah, I'm freezing just because my phone's about to die. That's what it is. I don't know if my
All
mic
right,
still comes in clear, but my phone's about to die.
I can still
Go
hear
ahead,
you
say it
good.
again now.
All right, Road Atlas versus GPS. What say you?
Oh, that's going to be a tough situation right there because Road Atlas will never fail, but at
Right.
the same time, depending on what type of GPS you're using, it'll have like bridge updates. It'll have where they're doing construction to where a Road Atlas isn't going to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would say a combination of both. I would not rely on one more than the other, unless you're an experienced driver, and then you can actually know the roads by a GPS. You know how to read a map,
Right.
per se. The majority of people, I'm going to say, go by a GPS. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what it is. That's what they go by. And there again, when you start talking about experience, going under bridges, and knowing what your clearances are, this kind of thing. Every state has their own, and if you drive all 48, I guess you'd learn those things. But if you're just like somebody traveling or something like that, you're not necessarily going to know by trying to read an atlas versus a GPS. You know what I mean? So that's a tough one right there. That's a tough one.
Well, the app
Yeah.
you got to pretty much study before you get on the road, right? I mean, you got
Yep.
to at it and you got to remember a lot while you're driving. When you got the GPS, it's just telling you as you go. So, the Atlas doesn't lie. I think it's the better thing, but it's maybe I'm not making sense. The GPS I would rather have.
Yeah, I think everybody should have knowledge about how to use a road. I think that should be part of the training tool. Like when people are going through school or going through driver trainers or whatever, somebody should be training them on how to use and read a road atlas, because you never know when that GPS is going to go out. And as expensive as they are, most people don't have two of them in a truck. I got just one. But I use Garmin's trucker GPS, and every now and then, I mean, very seldom has it got me going the wrong way. Um, I think I could probably count maybe 3, 4 times in the last year that it kind of tried to get me on a no truck route that didn't show a no truck route. But that was something I could have done with the Road Atlas, because I went back and looked in the Road Atlas and it didn't show it either, you know. And my Road Atlas is about a year old. So, like Arnie was saying, Road Atlas doesn't automatically update. You got to keep buying a new one to get updated information on it. And where the GPS, and especially like mine, I can hook it up to the phone and have it running off the app on the phone, and gives me weather updates, traffic updates, construction updates, all that. And I haven't looked at my GP or my Atlas in probably a year, um, but I do know how to read it because I was trained on how to read it and everything. I think everybody would be beneficial by reading and learning how to use it and everything.
I kind of have a clue.
Yep. I think we're kind of
could use it. Go ahead, Arnie.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think we're pretty much all on the same page. It's like, it's kind of hard to do one without the other. GPS is, I mean, they've come a long way, don't get me wrong. But yeah, as well as I do, there's going to be times to where they're going to get you trying to go in circles, and they're going to get you, not to make a turn here, not to make a turn there. And you're
Right.
going to see a road sign that's telling you, 15 tons, but this GPS wants you to turn on that road that's 15 tons,
Yeah.
And so I'm going to say it has to be a combination, whether people have to learn how to do better with their GPSs, program them better, get the right ones for trucks instead of just getting the one for cars.
Yeah,
you know, to where
the only time that I use like Google Maps is like my shipper or receiver, I'll go into Google Maps and get the satellite view, and I'll look at the destination where I'm going to find out where the driveway is, compared to what street I'm coming off of. Because a lot of times, like the address I have you coming in, like 123 ABC Jack Road. I'm named it after you, Jack. But but your driveway may be on the other road, and you don't know that going in, so you're left looking. Well, you can pull it up on the satellite image on the Google map, and you can get a topographical look at that business, and you can say, okay, well, this driveway, okay, well, I see all the trailers over here at this driveway. So that is a helpful tool too, but I don't ever use it for directions on the roads and stuff like that in the truck.
I do, but I'm not.
Yeah, I can agree.
I'm basically know where I'm going every day, every trip anyway, unless they send me somewhere new. But yeah, that's all I use.
Yeah, I think I hear a lot of people bad mouthing the truck and GPS and all, making fun of it. You see memes on Facebook all the time about it and stuff, but I think it's a great tool. That's what I use. Of course, I call shippers and receivers too and say, hey, this is where it's got me coming in. Is that a good direction? Is that where the trucks come in? Oh yeah, that's the right place. You're doing good. And every now and then I'll have somebody say, no, that's not the way you want to come. You want to come this way because they got construction or whatever on that road. So, it's like Arnie said, combination of everything is definitely going to help you in the long run, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's a tool for you to use. I mean, that's what it boils to. I mean, that'd be like using the gauges on your truck. They're there for a reason for you to use, to know what they are. So it's a helpful tool.
You look at any mechanic's tool. You look at any mechanic's toolbox. He don't have just one tool in there. He's got a bunch of tools in there to do whatever job that he needs to do efficiently. So, I'm reading some of the comments over here.
What was the GPS you said you got?
I got the Garmin 800, the truckers. I think it's DHS or something like that. Garmin. I like it. The screen at times is too big, but for the most part, as far as all the direction, the only thing that it gives me issues with is like if I jump off at a fuel stop to get fuel or take a 30-minute break or something, it'll try to route me around around the world sometimes. When I'm sitting there looking at the entrance ramp, it'll want me to go 5 miles out of route to get back on the interstate, and all I do is just jump back on it. But that's the only issue I've had with it.
Will it correct itself once you get back on the freeway then?
Yeah, it does. When you make that turn to go toward the interstate, it automatically adjusts and corrects itself. So
my phone does the same thing, Siri or what the hell ever you want to call that chick.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to go this way, turn around, make a U-turn, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, right here.
Yeah. I'm sitting there looking at the entrance ramp. I'm not going that way. I'm going this way. Gertrude, that's what I call my GPS is Gertrude. I said, don't argue with me, Gertrude. We're going this way. So.
$1,000 better tell me the right way. That's all I know.
Yeah. Gertrude gets mad at me every now and then. She tries to screw me up, but it all works out in the end. So I find my way home, so that's good.
I've chewed her out many times.
Oh yeah. So all right, I gotta go. I've got to go to the bathroom again.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go out too.
All right. We'll see you, Jack. Nice to meet you, buddy.
All right, man.
All right, everybody on here, Tanya, Robbie, Faith. I've read y'all's comments, especially about the sugar. I was sitting there reading while I was listening. So, hey, thank y'all for looking out for me and looking out for my health and helping me out with everything. Y'all keep it coming because this is a new road for me. So, I need all the help I can get. So all the advice and everything about diet, what I can avoid and all that, y'all help me out. I appreciate it.
Hang in there.
All right, we'll see you, Jack. Love y'all.
Right now.
All right, bye.
I'm reading some of your comments here also. Somebody's saying, Janet says, Jack, I found a robotic fish on YouTube. What? Now I need a robotic fishing lure. Come on now. Find that and send it to me if you can. That'd be the bomb. Just kind of looking through your comments here. Leave old boring Jack on here. Jeez, guys. Left me out here by myself. Hello, Terry. Hi, Patricia. Robert, you had asked me something if I was in my garage. Yes, I was. I was smoking. Not supposed to be, but I was smoking in my garage. And my wife will know because she'll walk out there when she gets home and she'll smell it and she'll have a fit. And that's how it works around here. Robbie Dollar, hello. What's happening? Arnie, what'd you do? Where'd you go?
Hey, Jack, what's up?
I'm hanging in here. Let me see who's in there. Diane. Yeah.
What's up, Jack?
What are you doing?
Just got done eating, having me a cigarette now, having me a Coke, trying to relax.
Went from bourbon to tea.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It was bad. Yeah.
How's your day been?
Good. I really did. Or did some shopping. Where's that echo?
Might be on mine. Hold on one second. I might not. Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right. Hi, boring Jack. Patricia, love you. What do we got here? Christopher, jump on there. Just whisper. Oh, Arnie, I was just getting ready to plug mine in too because mine's flashing me. I better do that now if I'm going to stay on here. Hey. Hey, come on. Here we go. We're charging now. Terry, I haven't been out in a couple of weeks. My front motor's messed up. It won't steer. My buddy came over and kind of looked at it, and thanks, Bill. Got that when I was in Hawaii. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the motor. So, I mean, I have another motor I could put up front. It's a tiller motor, but it's nice to be able to use your foot to control the motor, you know, while you're fishing. But they're expensive. I can't afford to go get a new one. I still have my one on the back, but it's hard to fish and steer that too, you know. Let's see if I can turn this over. There we go. Am I upside right? Let's look. Holy shit. That's a damn close up. Did that make me zoom in? That's bad. Yeah, you guys jump on here. Simple. Don't ask me how to do it because I don't know. I just do it.
Is that better?
Hello. Test 1 2 1 2. Sure it is.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Is it still echoing?
Nope.
All right. Yeah, I think I forgot to close out the other when I was on Facebook.
Hang on a second. I turn this music off. Alexa, turn off music.
So you're still on vacation?
Yep. Tomorrow's my last day.
Tomorrow's your last day. You better enjoy it.
I know, right?
Right.
I need
So
something.
have you made the decision on the truck yet?
No, I got tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm gonna use it Tuesday again, and I'll decide after that. They want me to make a decision.
Oh, okay. So you'll work out of it on Tuesday.
Right.
Nice.
I'll go back Tuesday. Let me let my dog in, and then I'll decide. I really want to keep it, but it's kind of hard to get in and out of. But so is the Kenworth.
Right.
And, I'm kind of struggling shifting because I've never driven an 18 speed. So, it's just something to get used to. I'll learn it.
Well,
I mean, I did. Sometimes I do fine. Sometimes I get in a rush and I'm trying to grab gears when you're not supposed to. You got to wait.
Right. Right.
Yeah, kind of embarrassing at times.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Falling down here.
So what have you been doing on your vacation? Just kicking back?
Nothing. I washed that truck for 2 days of it. So I was
Wow,
off.
it was that bad?
Oh man, it was terrible.
Wow.
I was saying before, I washed my hands like 5 or 6 times while I was cleaning the inside. This just grossed me out,
Wow.
My Kenworth,
That's a shame.
yeah, my Kenworth has a carpet, so I can blow it out with the air. And
right.
I can vacuum that too, But this rubber, it's got the slats all through it, and all the junk and crap gets in there, and it just nobody cleaned it ever. Nobody ever cleaned it. It was terrible.
Wow.
If I drop my potato chip or half my sandwich on the floor, I want to be able to pick up and eat the damn thing.
Oh wow, that's bad.
Man.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
So no fishing? You haven't been fishing while you've been off?
Nope. My motor's broke down, so I'm kind of a little discouraged.
Oh no.
I just went to my best friend's wife's funeral yesterday, and that was the first time I actually talked to him other than texting since it happened, and it was pretty hard. It was hard for both of us. That we talked a little bit, and then I told him that my motor was messed up, and he said he'd come over today and look at it. He came over. We BS'd a little bit, and then he said he had to go. So,
oh wow,
it's bothering him pretty bad.
Yeah.
He'll come around, I hope. What's up with you?
Just working.
All right.
I'm feeling it today. It's getting towards the end of the week for me for my 2 days off. I'm starting to. It's catching up to me.
You always look forward to those days off.
I'm telling you, they just go by so fast. That's the problem.
You know it. These 4-day weekends that I've been taking have been nice, because they go by slow,
Right.
I don't do a whole lot. When I took my week off for my week vacation, I worked on the house and stuff. So that kind of went by fast. But
right.
4-day weekends are nice. I love them. I wish I could do that every week.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Hell yeah.
I would love to find a job to work 4 10s Monday through Thursday and be off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I'm not going to find that in the restaurant business. So
No, you're not.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
But yeah. Hey everybody, how are everyone doing tonight?
Let's check this. What's happening?
So Robert said, did you buy any of that Terry Bradshaw bourbon yet? I told you it was real smooth.
No, I haven't yet, Robert. I haven't been to the liquor store. I kind of got plenty right now.
You're pretty well stocked up for the moment.
I'm all right for a minute,
Right.
That's what I was drinking, and then I got kind of tired of it. It was kind of, I don't know. I'm not much of a bourbon man. I like my Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hey Christopher, how you doing? So you liking this new platform, Jack?
What's that?
You like this new platform?
Yeah, it's cool. We get to see each other,
Right.
Instead of texting and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Right.
Enjoy it. Be nice if more people would get on here. You know, you can get 10 people on here.
Right.
Like to
I
see
think
it.
we have a lot of shy. Well, we had Janet. Janet was on here last night.
Who was?
Janet. She watches your stream all the time, I think. I see her on there.
Janet Mitchell?
I'm on your streams all the time. I just don't comment in the background because when you're traveling, your roads they're busy. Those when you're on the main roads, you know.
Right.
I was on there that one time you were showing us the homeless camps.
Oh,
there by the freeway. Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. And you start pretty early, like what, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, I'm usually in our yard by anywhere from 1 to 3, depending on what I'm doing for that day. Different start times every day.
Oh, different start times?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I go to bed at 5 at night, sometimes 6, sometimes 7.
Oh, wow.
Hell, I've been in bed at 4 in the afternoon. That's hard.
Yeah, especially when it's still daylight outside.
Hi, Everett. Yeah. It kind of does a toll on the body, you know, all those different hours.
Right.
Not getting the sleep I need.
Right.
But it's the job I chose. So
I'm doing good, Valerie. How are you? Hello, Mr. Carter. Are you feeling better? Mr. Carter was pretty sick last night.
Uh-oh. What was wrong?
He woke up and he had it coming out both ends.
Oh. Kenny says he's on here until he goes to bed. That's funny.
He is.
Get on here.
One night it was me, Kenny, Frank, till about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, I think.
Oh my God. That must have been a hoot.
Yeah. I think till they finally cut it. Well, I think we're on here till the stream had ended.
Really?
Yeah.
So now we got to, I guess we got to ask to start the stream if there's not one going.
Yeah.
Got to ask for the admins. So it's not like, come on.
Yeah, I just got to wait for that code to be pinned, I guess.
What's your shirt say?
Fat bar. It's from when I worked at the stream at the Fat Burger. We had a bar out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fat burger. I'd like a fat burger.
Have you had one before?
No, I'd like to have one.
Oh, they're expensive, but let me tell you.
Are they?
Yeah.
We got some places that got pretty good burgers around here.
Yeah.
We went and
I'm
stopped.
glad to hear you're feeling better, Mr. Carter. He says he's feeling better today. Did you go to the doctor, Mr. Carter, or you just started feeling better?
This channel is about whatever you want it to be about. It's for the truckers and the viewers to talk back and forth and see each other and just BS about everything.
Very true, Janet. Yes, Christopher Culver's does have some good burgers, but I can't lie. Fat Burger, Fat Burger beats him on the burger part. Yeah, Mr. Leader, ain't that the truth? School started here 2 weeks ago. And so the majority of our workers are school kids. So we're suffering right now, even though we were suffering through the whole summer with employees shortage, but we're still feeling it.
You guys, I didn't realize what time it was. My wife's going to come home here. I got to put these dishes in the dishwasher or my ass is grass.
I was gonna say you better get those. You better get your stuff done, or you're gonna be in the doghouse. You'll be sleeping outside.
Might be better out there anyway. I don't know.
Oh my goodness! Look how Jack is moving fast. Look at him getting those dishes loaded in the dishwasher. That is too funny.
Usually I don't. Usually I don't. And she comes home. That's the first thing she does is cleans up our mess, and it's like
That is too funny.
she just does it, which is all right. But I try to help as much as I can.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And she'll come home and she'll see me on here and she'll say something about that too.
And she thinks what?
She'll come home and she'll catch me on here and she'll say something about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You had time to be on there, but you didn't have time to do the dishes.
Right?
Yeah.
I gotta at least have these done. Jesus. And the stove. I made raviolis and salad.
Right. Mr. Robinson, can you be a little bit more specific on your question, please? Oh, okay, about trucking. Well, we have a lot of different drivers on this platform, and all of them have been trucking for a lot of different years. Jack, how long have you been trucking?
24.
24?
24 years.
Jack's been doing truck driving for 24 years, Mr. Robinson. Oh, okay, you're new to trucking. Nice. Christopher says he'll do dishes tomorrow.
I just really I haven't done anything.
Hi, Mary. Yeah. Well, I was lucky and I came home and my son had already done the dishes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't always do that. My kids never had to do anything.
Where do you live, Mr. Robinson? You'll have to wait for Jack to come back on and he can ask you that question, answer that question for you a whole lot better than I can, Mr. Robinson. He wants to know, is it what most truckers make it seem?
Is it what?
He wants to know if it's what most truckers sing.
Let me look over there. I'm not catching that.
Christopher, they don't have Fat Burger in Florida? I think they have one further, like maybe in the Key. I want to say I thought there was one in the Key West. Right, Levon? I'll normally come home in whatever ones my son used during the day.
Is it what most truckers make it seem? What? I don't understand that. I don't understand the question.
Let's see. Oh, really, Christopher? So he says, I'm trying to make this a long career, but a lot of drivers say it's not worth it.
Oh, well, it depends. If you're a single guy or you don't have any family, yeah, it's a good job to have. If you got a family, you're raising kids. I don't know how some of these people do it when they got kids at home. I don't. That would be hard for me to do. Wouldn't be my first choice. I'm home every day. Look at this. Can't keep this phone standing up.
So Patty P wants to know, how do you look at trucking today, Jack?
I like it. I mean, there's been a lot of changes in 24 years,
Right.
but you know, I don't think I would do anything else. I was a concrete finisher for 18 years, and that was pretty hard work. This is fairly easy. I mean, it's not easy, but I mean it's easier than doing labor and construction work. The changes that have been in the 24 years that I've been doing this.
I bet you've seen a lot of changes in 24 years, big changes too.
Yeah, but they weren't for us anyway. It's not that drastic. The long haulers, the over the roaders, I'm sure it plays a big part for them.
Right.
Hours of service and stuff like that. I mean, that affects me also. But being a local driver, I very seldom do I push my hours to the limit. I mean, there's been times if there's accidents on the freeway, if I'm waiting to unload or wait to load, then my hours jump up there. But
right,
sure, it's very
absolutely, Kenny. Yeah,
sure.
Kenny says if you love it, you will be a great driver. That's correct. So, Mr. Robinson, are you a local driver or are you a OTR? Hey, Kenny, I watched the replay of this live when I was on break today, and your haircut and your shaving, you look really nice. OTR. Okay.
Robert got a haircut. Is that what you say?
Kenny did. Have you seen Kenny since he got his haircut and he shaved?
I don't think so.
Really?
They're looking at the moon here. Frickin' phone won't stay put. You put my squirt gun there. That's for my cat. My cat gets out of line, I have to squirt it. Same with my dog.
So Mr. Robinson started with Crest, but now with a new company.
Well, stick with it. A lot of truck drivers move from company to company, and I don't understand that. Like, we hire guys and they don't stay very long and they go somewhere else. Kind of weird. I don't know. I make good money. I'm actually number one driver, but they call me
Nice.
0.5 because I kind of got screwed. But
What? No wonder they don't like it when you take vacation.
they hate it. They hate it. But I'm taking it. I bet you that. Every time.
I don't blame you.
Shit. I heard that.
I don't blame you one bit.
I did vacuum a little bit today too. Forgot about that. So that'll get me a brownie point, baby.
Yeah, Robbie, you're exactly right. Dennis got it started. It started with Dennis, and then the next day it was Kenny, and now you're saying Lonnie. Well, we all drivers are different, Robinson. Jack here is a what is it? Concrete, Jack, that you haul?
Powdered cement
Powder cement.
in pneumatic tanks. I pull 2 trailers full of powdered cement in pneumatic trailers.
Right.
So I air them up and I blow them off.
Right.
I can't keep up with all the comments.
But Mr. Robinson, this is an awesome platform to learn. If you're very new to the trucking industry, you're on the right platform. You'll get a lot of, we got some awesome drivers on here, lots of good advice. So yeah. Oh, you're very welcome. What time is it where you're at?
I lost you. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to leave you guys because I got to go water my back lawn before she gets here because she wanted me to do that, and I didn't do that either. So,
All righty. We get it.
I'm trying to save my ass, y'all.
I agree. We don't want you in the doghouse.
Yes, ma'am. I'll try to come back on here later, though.
All righty. You have a good one.
All right, see you guys.
Nice.
Take care.
All right. Bye. Hey, Mr. Robertson, right here in the chat too. If you want to ask questions, go ahead. We have some retired truck drivers in here. I believe Pat's a retired truck driver. Kenny's a retired truck driver. Robert can tell you a lot. If Randy's still in here, he can tell you a lot. Who else is in here? Patty P can tell you. Mr. Carter. I don't know. Is Faith still in here? She was a retired driver too. Sorry guys, I think that was on my end. I apologize. So what I was saying, Robertson, we also have another platform where it shows the drivers driving, and they're actually live right now. Heather and Pat, and it shows them, shows you the road with them driving. But just keep following this platform and you'll get a lot of great advice. You'll get a lot of good information from all the different drivers that we have. It's a very welcoming platform. Thank you for coming on Truckers TV. We appreciate it. You're very welcome. All right, guys. Well, I think I'll go watch Pat and Heather for a few minutes. And then I think I'm going to call it a night. Hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for joining in here, chatting with me for a few minutes. Good night, Kayla. Good night, Christopher. Good night, Patty P. Welcome to Truckers TV, Mr. Robertson. You have a great night. Good night, Robbie Dollar. Good night, Pat. Oh yeah, a good one to watch tonight would be Amanda, Mr. Robertson. She'll be doing some night driving tonight. Miss Dollar, do you know what time she'll be on? Alrighty, at 10 o'clock. Well, hopefully I'll still be awake at 10 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tired today. All right, guys, you guys have a good night. Thank you for joining in. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.